Welcome, dear friends, to Cardiac Radio at 11 p.m., nourishing our souls with the laws of love. In this book that contains important information about the Spiritist understanding on suffering. It brings to us not only an educational aspect of it, but it also brings to us the single opportunity of revisiting our experiences. The book, written by Emmanuel through two mediums, Chico, Xavier, and Waldo Vieira, was written in 62, published in 63, and now in 2021, coming to you firsthand in a free translation by Cardiac Radio's team. The book contains 8 chapters. The first chapter we've studied already, spiritual causes of illnesses. But remember, the book contains 8 chapters, and each chapter has questions and answers. We are grouping the questions and answers in themes so we can follow through. The chapters are very comprehensive, though simple, but very comprehensive. And now we're studying chapter 2, which is about relatives, children, being parents. But we're going to begin with the first questions. Question number 1. It talks about a passage we will go through again, death. And the question is, does death archive the unfinished business of individuals? Individuals' unfinished businesses? And the answer, in the world, death seems to be a station of insoluble problems, archiving unfinished businesses. However, this is just an appearance. This is precisely how Emmanuel answers to this question. And we may be asking, what is it about unfinished businesses? It's when we didn't reconcile with someone. It's when we owe something to somebody, materially, spiritually, emotionally. Death does not close the case. It's justice, God's justice. Let us see a case that would exemplify that. Well, there are many cases in the Spiritist literature, but a renowned case is the following. The case that you're going to find in the book Action and Reaction by André Luiz through Chico Xavier. There were 3 brothers, and the father discarnated, leaving them an inheritance, a farm, and other things. One of them was very ambitious and very greedy and cruel. He had the courage, and I say courage, quote unquote, because that's not courage, but he dared to kill his 2 brothers to keep the inheritance for himself alone. What happened after the death of his 2 brothers? Was the case closed? No, not at all. What we have come to know is that André Luiz explains to us that the 2 brothers, when they woke up in the spiritual realm, they were very upset. And when they were upset, they decided to avenge his brother. They even stopped by at the School of Avengers. Yes, it exists in the spiritual realm. And after that, they came back and found a way to push his wife into the lake till she was dead. Yes, Obsessors can do that, especially when we're not vigilant enough. We're no victims. We've studied it, right? When we only think about our lives and ourselves and our deeds, and we don't care about those who are suffering more than we are open doors to obsessors. So in this case, you and I are coming to know that these two brothers in the spiritual realm didn't close the case. They came back to avenge, and they avenged by killing the wife of their brother and then finding a way to kill the brother. And now, 30 years later, they're still on the case as discarnate spirits with a legion of spirits, obsessing the very nephew who is now the owner of the farm. So when people think death happens and case is closed, no. Unfinished business is unfinished business. So what are the consequences of obscure crimes? Hidden crimes that end with death. Such is the case that we're telling you in the book Action and Reaction by André Luiz. The answer by Emmanuel clarifies even further. He says, passionate dramas, crimes that were not investigated by human judges, inner tragedies, and the assault of the shadows, whose protagonists we know how to identify through the victims and those who created it. These crimes, these tragedies, these passions do not disappear in the silence of the tomb, because life goes on beyond death, unfolding causes and consequences. So, what happens here needs to be fixed. Death is not going to be the end. So for those who say, let's go for capital punishment, as if they're going to solve a problem, they're just complicating it more. A crime, because killing somebody is a crime to punish somebody who committed a crime doesn't give us any advantage. On the contrary, once that person is discarnate, they may come back and avenge the whole society. And those who participated in the killing. So, friends, we need to know of this to change the laws, to change the way we feel about it. And then in the subsequent question, it's so interesting because since Emmanuel talked about death unfolding causes and consequences, then there was another question asking, what is the principle of cause and effect? How does it work beyond death? Look at the wave behind me. It's the coming and going of our actions. If you throw something in the sea, it may come back through the waves. It goes and comes back. It may, and it does. So the principle of cause and effect works in human existence, whether we are incarnated or discarnated, beyond the perishable physical body. That's what Emmanuel is saying. So, in the spiritual realm, after death, the laws of life are the same. They do not change. So it's funny when somebody dies, we say, oh, they are resting in peace. Where is that written that anybody's resting in peace? I don't know. What we hope is that they find the help that they need, is that they find the loving care that they need. But nobody is resting in peace, because those who are evolved don't rest. They work, they help. And those who are less evolved, they don't rest in peace, right? So death does not end anything for us. It may be for you and for me something that is not new, but think about our inner life, and that's going to be our exercise for the next 24 hours. Let's all think about what is unfinished inside of me that I need to work upon before death surprises me. Have I forgiven myself or others? Have I reconciled? Have I made an effort to reconcile? Have I done my best to fulfill my duties? So you and I are here today to revisit how we are dealing with the things that are unfinished inside of us. In the next 24 hours, you and I need to go within and select the things that are not good, sometimes from childhood, sometimes from our teenage years, sometimes from adulthood, divorces, abortions, problems at workplace, in the family, relatives. And these are chapters that we'll be discussing in the book very soon here in the program, Laws of Love. For now, you and I will find an unfinished business inside of us, and we're going to pray. Pray and bless, as Sister Sheila says. We're going to tell the problem, may God bless this problem and may we find a solution as soon as possible. May God bless this problem and may I find a solution to it. May God bless this issue and may I find sooner than later the solution to it all. All right, that's it. That's it for today, because it's a lot for us to work inside. Tomorrow when we come back, what is Emmanuel going to tell us about? We'll tell you what he's going to say. He's going to ask, where do we go after death? He's going to talk about the people we're living with, blood ties, Mamma Mia. There's so much to empower us. We need some days together to go through it. It's all about the laws of God, the laws of love. Thank you, friends, for being here with us at Kardec Radio today. We wish you many blessings, and until tomorrow, God willing.